Johnny Dollar.
Pat McCracken, Johnny. How's the weather in Palm Springs?
A blonde in a bikini just melted past my poolside window. Goodbye now.
Oh, don't hang up. Johnny, this job's just a few miles north of where you are. It'll take maybe a day to clear it up.
Yeah, you said that last Christmas, Pat, and I got trapped in a blizzard. This season, I soak in the sun. Happy New Year.
John, boy, we have a bonus list in this office. Your name could be on it.
Near where I am, huh?
It's a ghost town named Calico. An old prospector named Kringle is breathing his last up there.
I thought old prospectors never died.
He wants to change the beneficiary on his $50,000 policy, but a nephew, Ned Kringle, threatens suit if we let him. So you contact our agent, Gene Craig, in Barstow.
Who's the new beneficiary?
Carmen Kringle.
Carmen?
A Burro.
A Burro?
Yeah. If I don't hear from you, Johnny, Merry Christmas.
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
And now, Act One of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Home Office, Universal Adjustment Bureau, Hartford, Connecticut. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Carmen Kringle matter. Expense account item 1, $1.40. Telegram to Gene Craig in Barstow telling him where and when to meet me. Item 2, $50 even to Al Sterner for his charter plane to the ghost town of Calico. The guidebook says there's something about desert country that's good for the soul. And in spite of the air bumps, I got a panoramic view of the Great Mojave that took my breath away. The sun's setting rays hit the weird mineral stratas of the Calico Range and turned them into a patchwork of beauty. Night comes quickly in this country, and I turned to Al when a Christmas tree cluster of blinking lights appeared under our wings. By way of answer, he put the plane into a glide and set us down on the smooth surface of a dry lake bed.
Johnny, you want me to wait around till your friend shows up?
No, thanks. Well, there seems to be plenty of company.
That's just an old coyote. Don't stand too long or you'll freeze to the spot.
Okay.
Good luck. Call me when you want to be picked up.
I watched Al's plane until it was swallowed by the darkness. Then suddenly I got that feeling in the hair on the back of my neck that I wasn't alone. The moon was up enough to make out shadows, and silhouetted in a circle around me was a strange collection of figures. One of the pack moved toward me. And for a crazy second, I thought I'd bumped into Santa Claus's reindeer. Then a car without lights came rushing at me. The headlights slammed on, and I got a glimpse of a donkey herd scattering into the night.
All right, mister. Walk toward me. Slow, with your hands high.
I've learned never to argue with a Winchester 94, so I followed orders. I spotted the weaving headlamps of another car approaching and prayed it was the agent, Gene Craig.
Close enough, Sonny. I can pop the rattlers off a sidewind at 60 yards, so don't you make no sudden move.
He was maybe 60 with gray sideburns and a frosty goatee. A marshal's badge was pinned to his leather jacket.
All right, now, mister.
Marshal, it's all right. That's Mr. Dollar.
Huh?
I was supposed to meet him earlier. I'm awfully sorry, Mr. Dollar. I'm Gene Craig.
Huh?
I couldn't get here until I drove Doc Spangler up to Chris. He's had another setback, Marshal.
Yeah, some darn fool let down a rail on his corral, and Chris Kringle's whole herd got loose. He don't give a chuck for most of them, though, except Carmen. Now he's fretting because she's running wild. Almost had him tracked down when this here fella showed up. If you vouch for him, huh, Gene?
You are Johnny Dollar, aren't you?
Well, a frozen facsimile.
Come on, I'll drive you into Calico.
You tell Chris that I'll have his Carmen back in the corral before the moon's full. And, Gene.
Yeah, Marshal.
Tell the old sourdough to stay alive, will you? We need him around here. Sorry about mistaking you, Mr. Dollar.
Gene Craig, with a J, knew her way around. She was strictly business and filled me in fast on the old prospector with the odd name and his desire to change the beneficiary of his policy.
Everybody calls him Chris because every year he loads up his burros with toys and presents for the miners and their families back in the hills.
Oh?
The kids really think he is Santa Claus. I'm afraid it won't be a very merry one for them this year.
Well, what makes everyone so sure Kris Kringle is giving up the ghost?
Doc Spangler says there's nothing apparently wrong with him. It's more like he's given up.
Oh, what's with this Scrooge character, the nephew?
Ned Kringle seems all right. It's the man with him, Willie D'Agostino. He does the talking for Ned. You think he was going to inherit the money.
Well, maybe he's expecting to. You know, you're making a good case for Carmen.
Can a Burro be a beneficiary, Johnny?
Chris can leave it to a three-masted schooner if he wants, providing a trust is set up.
Could the people of Calico be that trust if they promise to take care of Carmen?
Yeah, I guess so. Why?
That's the way Chris wants it. That way there'll always be a Christmas in Calico.
What happens when Carmen goes to donkey heaven? Or is it burros that never die?
There'll always be burros in Calico, Johnny. And one of them could always be named Carmen.
Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment. Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the Carmen Kringle matter.
Well, here we are, Johnny. Calico, once the richest silver city in the West.
It was unbelievable. Like seeing a page from the past. Walter Knott, famed creator of Knott's Berry Farm and Western historian, had bought the old ghost town's battered remnants and restored it to the way it must have appeared in the wild and fevered days of the Silver Lode. I could make out signs nailed to weathered batten boards that told of a flourishing and colorful past. Joe's Saloon, The Last Chance, Hyena House Hotel, Lane's Mercantile, the Calico Print. High on a hill at the edge of town, people were gathered at the entrance to a cave that was illuminated by hundreds of miners' lamps.
Kind of gets you, huh?
Almost like it was planned.
They're rehearsing for the Christmas Eve pageant. Maybe you can spend Christmas Eve with us, Johnny, if you don't have other plans.
I have a day with a steam-heated swimming pool.
What?
Come on. Let's meet the old man. Expense account item 3, $100 for a quart of perfume or a mink scarf, anything to wipe the hurt look off of Jean Craig's face. She led me up the steps to the rickety porch of Kris Kringle's wooden shack. A tall figure carrying a black bag stepped toward us out of the shadows.
Jeannie, I'm glad to see you. Will you drive me back to town?
Why, certainly, Doc. Oh, this is Mr. Dollar.
Hi, son.
Hi.
Chris, is he still all right?
I couldn't say. Been sitting out here waiting for you.
You haven't seen the patient?
The medical man knows the duty and all that, but I'm too old to talk back to a gun.
They wouldn't let you in?
Tired of it.
Well, I'm not a medical man.
Well, please be careful, Johnny.
I told you, Stallbone, stay away and leave the old man.
Well, if it ain't little Jeannie, the policy fixer. And who are you, mister?
Willie D'Agostino. This is Johnny Dollar. He's from the insurance company to see about changing the policy.
Who is it, Wooly? Who you talking Relax, will you, and let him give us some tourist directions back to Barstow. There'll be no policy changing at this late date, mister. Ned Kringle is very bereaved at the imminence of his uncle's demise. Just family admitted at this sad hour, so mosey along, folks. I'll leave the young man to his grief. Your foot is in the door, mister. I don't like your foot, and I don't like you.
His hand moved to his shoulder holster, but Jean was standing right beside me. It was Doc who suddenly shouldered past D'Agostino and fled up the stairs that gave him my chance. I kicked the door wide. Threw him off balance. I shoved Jeannie aside, and that was a mistake because a million Christmas tree lights blazed up in my skull. Then slowly the tree lights faded away, and I saw Jeannie fussing over me and looking worried. A young, nice-looking fellow was seated next to a marble-top table. D'Agostino leaned against the stone fireplace and dangled his gun, smiling like he had a stacked deck.
He's all right, Doc?
A nasty cut, but no fracture.
I know how to pull my punches, Doc.
The old man. How is he?
No better, no worse. Just lying up there staring at the ceiling.
I want to see Chris. I have a right to, Ned. I'm an old friend.
Wooly, wouldn't it be okay if Gene just went up?
No, let him die in peace. He's past carrot hoe season.
Wooly, these people have
I
a right.
said no. I'll get a hero boy in his feet and shove off. Go on.
Come on, Johnny. Help me, Doc.
How's it going to feel, Ned? Sharing blood money with a hoodlum. Your uncle paid for that policy with a pick and a shovel. It took a lot of years, a lot of sweat. And he's had your name on that policy ever since you were born.
Old man Kringle never saw pay dirt in his life. Ned had given money to live on, paid the premiums on his policy. Chris was always tapping the kid, claiming he had a new find. He was going to mine $1 million.
Wait, shut up. The old man's dying.
Tell him, Ned. Tell him how the old phony was always taking the bows, making like Santa Claus with the money you give him.
Willie, haven't you got a...
Tell him to hold on to the money. I know he's been waiting a long time for this. Me, Willie D'Agostino, that's who.
Is that true, Ned?
Yeah. I thought my uncle would make a strike someday. I honestly thought he'd strike it rich. I know he tried.
He did strike it rich, Ned. When he dies, every man, woman, and child in this town will mourn him. He'll live in their hearts. What will people remember about you, Mr. D'Agostino?
All right, get out, and stay out before I...
Willie, this rifle will make a hole in your belly big enough to pass a borax beam through. So you just drop that gun. Well, I don't know what the shouting's about, but you're guilty of carrying sidearms and you're threatening violence, Mr. D'Agostino. And ain't nobody does that in Calico, long as I'm the marshal. Now, you better get.
Ed Noller, I love you.
Oh, so let Gladys hear that.
Well, I'll see how Chris is.
Doc, you tell the old buzzard that I got his Carmen back in the corral. Jingle bells and all.
Yeah, nice work, Ed.
Now, what's holding you, mister?
Okay. All right, let's go, Ned. Let the squares have a round, huh?
I'm going to stay here, Willie. I want to be here when Chris...
Hey, that's a good idea. That way, no fooling around with the will, huh? Smart kid, that Ned. See you at the funeral, huh?
I'll go up now.
You were wonderful, Marshal. And you too, Johnny.
Oh, yeah, sure. I take a nice sock on the head.
Say, you folks better come up, too. Chris wants to say something.
Oh, wait a second. I figured on this. The corral. Come on.
D'Agostino must have had another gun in his car. One of the bullets had found the mark he intended. Willie Boy wasn't taking any chances that Carmen Kringle would inherit $50,000. We found the Burro lying on her side, quite dead. Jingle bells and all.
Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment. Oh, Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the Carmen Kringle matter.
Oh, Marshal. Johnny, how could he have been so cruel? Carmen dead. It's just not right.
Yeah, I figured D'Agostino might be mean enough to try killing Chris's pet burro.
We can't tell him about it. It would kill him for sure.
You'll have to know the truth, Gene. You'll have to decide about the will.
Yeah, truth is always the best. And easy this time.
Easy.
Huh?
Yeah, I'll just take these bells off of this poor little feller, and I'll put them where they belong. Carmen? What? Carmen?
Oh.
Mosey over here now.
Well, you pulled a switch. You put these bells on another book.
Yeah. I didn't trust that greasy character, and I was right. And nice girl, Carmen.
Well, I'll be.
Now, you folks going up and see old Chris. I'll keep an eye on this here $50,000 jackass. That's the way it's going to be, ain't it, Johnny?
Yes, sir. That's the way it's going to be. But I was wrong. The roly-poly little old man on the four-poster bed with his white whiskers resting on the quilt changed his mind again, even after hearing about how the marshal saved Carmen.
I wasn't going to scratch Ned's name off of that insurance, Mr. Dollar. I tried to shake that D'Agostino, figuring he'd take his hooks off of Ned if he thought my Carmen was going to get the money. Oh, I was scared for a while that I just might have to up and die to square my nephew's gambling debts.
I'm sorry, Chris. I'll work my fingers raw paying every cent I owe, but I'll pay him back with interest. I want you around.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Dollar.
Yeah, Chris.
Lift the lid on that footlocker and fetch me one of them bags in there. They're pretty heavy, but you look strong.
Well, they're sure heavy enough. You got them stuffed with silver?
It's better than silver. Open it up there. Yeah, that's it. Yes, you recognize that?
Yeah. Maybe you'd better have a good sleep, Chris. This here's plain old gravel.
Oh, plain gravel. It's uranium, Doc, huh? The last batch assayed at $900 a ton. And I got a mountain of it staked out. In both our names, Ned. You
don't care. Why, Chris?
Mr. Dollar, if you and Jeannie check with the Barstow Bank, you'll find that they'll extend credit on the strength of that assay. You reckon you can spend 2 days buying enough presents so as we won't disappoint the folks hereabouts?
Expense account item 4, $68 even. Telephone calls to 5 principal cities where I thought Willie D'Agostino might be remembered. The police departments had a long list of reasons why they remembered Willie. That was my Christmas present to them. Expense account item 5, another $50. Truck rental to haul the presents we bought for Ned to give away come Christmas morning. And then it was Christmas Eve. We sat on the Kringles' porch and watched the procession up to the Maggie mine. The flickering lights from the miners' lamps reflecting on the faces of the happy children. Old Chris was bundled up in blankets, his little eyes twinkling, chuckling to himself like he knew all the answers to the universe. Jean was there, too.
Kind of nice. Isn't it, Johnny?
Kind of nice. Marshal Ed Noller was one of the wise men in the procession. I recognized the sideburns. And Doc Spangler couldn't hide his height. Oh, he wore an awful beard. Ned Kringle led the burro that carried the Blessed Mother. Yeah, you guessed it. The burro was Carmen Kringle. Expense account total, including return to Palm Springs and incidentals, $229.75. But forget it, Pat. This is the best holiday I ever had. And I was only cold at the start. From all of us to all of you, may this be your very merriest Christmas ever. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Johnny Dollar.
Johnny, this is Don Boomhauer.
Down in Sarasota, Florida?
That's right.
Don, how are you? How's the real estate business?
Just fine, and business is booming.
Yeah, I haven't seen you since I flew down there to do some fishing with our mutual pal, Earl Poorman.
That one with his misguided sense of value.
Now, what's that mean?
Oh, his trips out to California all the time.
Huh?
And this time it looks as though he might stay out there.
Don, I think all you Floridians are jealous of California.
Now, Johnny, you think we'd ever admit it, even to ourselves? Be rank heresy. Anyhow, with Earl Poorman out of town, at least for a while, I'm kind of holding down the office of Tri-State Life and Casualty these days. So what happens?
Trouble.
Trouble. Client's name is Thomas Patterson.
All right, what's happened? Somebody knock him off or something?
No, not yet. But a few years ago, when he was living up in Jacksonville, well, Tom was the sole witness to a murder.
Yeah?
The killer was tried and sent to state's prison.
Uh-oh.
Huh?
So now this killer's on the loose, and you figure Tom Patterson's life isn't worth a bag of beans.
That's it, exactly. Want to come down here and see what you can do about it?
Nope.
Now,
But,
Johnny.
okay, Don, I'll grab the first plane I can.
CBS Radio brings you Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Tri-State Life and Casualty Insurance Company, Sarasota office. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the deadly debt matter. Expense account item 17940, taxi in a plane out of Hartford. The flight was good, and by early afternoon, I was in Don Boomhauer's real estate office in Sarasota, Florida. After the usual amenities.
Now, let me lay it all out for you, Johnny.
Yeah, sure, Don. Go ahead.
And to begin with, the life insurance policy involved has a face value of $70,000.
Let's see then. My commission will come to,
Don't you ever think of anything but money?
Sure.
Like what?
Well, right now I'm thinking about the chances of staying alive. After all, with a killer on the loose, well, at least the thought of a few bucks coming to me could help me die happy. The insured's name you said is Thomas Patterson?
It is now.
Huh?
Some years ago, Johnny, young Tommy lived up in Jacksonville, worked as a milkman.
Uh-huh.
Early one morning, that was in 1951, he pulled up in front of an alley just in time to see a man named Casey Carey shoot down a fellow named Harker, who just happened to be busy at the moment blasting away at Carey with a .38.
Oh, so Carey pleaded self-defense, huh?
Well, he tried to, but the jury wouldn't go for it. You see, there'd been a long-standing feud between the two of them.
Uh-huh.
Only reason they didn't give Carey the chair is because Harker had a record as long as your arm.
I see.
Instead, Carey was given 10 years to life.
I see.
The point is that Tommy Patterson's testimony was what really convicted him. So, of course, he made the usual melodramatic threat.
Oh, yeah. That he'd get Patterson if it was the last thing he ever did.
He didn't care when. He'd be in no hurry. But sooner or later, he'd track him down and kill him.
Mm-hmm. So what's happened?
Now, Tom had just got married, started a nice little family, 2 boys and a girl. So Carey's threat scared him as much because of the wife and kids as for himself.
Yeah, but now, Don, you know as well as I do how little those courtroom threats usually mean.
Now, wait.
Yeah?
About that time, some relative died and left Tom a considerable sum of money. So he changed his name, legally.
Changed it to what?
To what it is now, Thomas K. Patterson. What it was before doesn't matter.
Okay, go on.
Then he and his family moved on down to Venice, a few miles south of here.
Yeah, I remember the town.
Well, there in Venice, he set up the Excellent Dairy Products Company. Nobody down here has known him as anything but Tom Patterson, so he's felt perfectly safe. Until that is about 6 months ago.
Yeah?
He was up in Jacksonville on a business trip. He was just walking along the street one day, turned a corner and bumped into a man coming from the other way.
Uh-oh.
Yes, he took one look at the man's face and started running like a scared rabbit.
Casey Carey.
Well, what do you think?
But now, wait, Don. If Carey got 10 years to life in 1951...
I know. When he stopped to think about it, Tom couldn't believe it. But he went down to the public library and dug into the old newspaper files.
Yeah?
Sure enough, thanks to good behavior, model prisoner, and all that sort of stuff...
Carey got out?
Carey got out, legitimately. But to Tom Patterson, that would only mean one thing. Carey was out to get him.
In the exciting history of great American inventions and inventors, there is no one who stands out with the eminence of Thomas A. Edison. Among his hundreds of great inventions, Edison gave us the phonograph, the microphone, a telephone system, various improvements for telegraphy and motion pictures, and most significantly, the electric light or incandescent lamp, originally referred to as bottled light. When Edison was still in his 20s, he set out to invent an electric lamp which could operate on low power and would be safe for use in homes and other buildings. He knew that resistance to electricity would make wires and other substances glow for an instant with white heat, but they would be instantly consumed. So he tried several types of fiber or wire sealed in a vacuum and succeeded in producing a glow which lasted for several hours. The next step was to find a filament that would give off a bright light and last for a longer time. In his search for the right substance, which he could seal in his vacuum bulb, he tried 6,000 different substances, ranging from human hair and tar to foodstuffs and vegetable fibers. Finally, he hit upon the idea of using the fibers of the bamboo tree. Carbonized, these threads provided the filament he sought, and thus the incandescent lamp became a reality. It was discovered not by accident nor by profound scientific knowledge. It was the result of tireless effort and endless trials. Edison, like so many geniuses before him, found success through determination and the philosophy which has blessed the work of most American inventors. Somehow there must be a way. Let's find it.
And now, Act Two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Now, wait a minute, Don.
Yes, Johnny?
Tom Patterson wasn't sure that Carey actually saw him, recognized him, huh?
Well, at the time, no. After all, Tom had only had a very brief glimpse of the man, and the man had made no attempt to go after him.
Uh-huh. But he's sure now that it was Carey.
Yes.
All right, so what did he do?
He drove on back to Venice, quietly bought himself a Colt 32 and got a permit to carry it.
Did he tell the police why he wanted the gun?
No. Of course, all along, Johnny, Tom had hoped that Carey hadn't recognized him. That even if he had, he wouldn't know where to look for him.
But, now, Don, unless this man Carey has made some move against him...
Now, just wait, Johnny.
Okay, tell it your way.
A couple of months ago, Casey Carey appeared and settled down in Venice.
Oh?
Yes, he rented a small house and got himself a job in charge of one of the filling stations on the trail.
Well, that doesn't sound as though he moved in just to carry out his threat against Tom Patterson.
Needless to say, Tom tried to avoid him. But now and then, when he'd see him on the street or forget and go past the gas station, it was Carey who'd avoid him, pretend not to see him.
Don...
I know what you're thinking, Johnny. But just remember one thing.
Yeah, what's that?
Carey had made it plain right from the beginning that he was in no hurry to get back in Tom.
Ah, I see. So you think he's kind of playing a cat-and-mouse game with him, huh? Just to build up the old fear in him, prolong the agony, maybe?
What else? And believe me, he's succeeding. When Tom finally called and asked me to have you come here to protect him, he was almost a nervous wreck.
All right, tell me this. Has Carey any brains, or is he just a typical dumb hood?
Well, he's in charge of a modern filling station for one of the big important companies.
All right, then he must have too much sense to commit another murder. But if he can simply wear Patterson down with fright, maybe even drive him off his rocker...
Johnny, Carey swore he'd kill Tom Patterson, and I'm convinced that he meant it. More important, Tom is.
What do the police say?
Well, Tom hasn't told him, in order to keep his wife and kids from finding out about it. That's a pretty small town, you know. If it weren't for his family, Tom would have just pulled up stakes and headed for Timbuktu.
Don, if he's as scared as you seem to think...
As I seem
and
to
if
think...
there's no good reason for it...
Well?
Got an extra car I can use?
Yeah, sure. The yellow one parked out front.
Good.
Here. There are the keys.
All right, thanks.
What are you going to do?
Drive on down to Venice to see Tom Patterson and the police. Item 2, $4.25 for a tank full of gas. In Venice, I found Tom Patterson in his office at the Excellent Dairy Products Company, about to leave for the day. What Don Boomhauer had said about him was true. He was just about beside himself with fear. And somewhat against his wishes, I hauled him over to police headquarters. Brad Younger, the chief, was most cooperative. But...
Okay, Billy, let me know when he comes in.
That's it.
And yes, Mr. Dollar, I know all about Casey Carey.
Oh?
Then why haven't you done something about him?
No.
Why have you let him settle down here in Venice?
Now, just a minute, Mr. Tom.
If you know who he is, that he's the man who's threatened to kill me...
I said just a minute, Mr. Tom. Now, you just sit there and be quiet.
Yeah, please. Go on with what you were saying, Chief.
Mr. Johnny, I learned all about Carey from the big oil company he works for. All about him, including that foolish thing he said in court 9 years ago.
All right, then.
So I had a little talk with him, and we kind of kept an eye on him. Of course, only the boys on the force, and I know that. We weren't sure that Mr. Tom here knew about him being here or recognized him.
Of course I did.
There was no reason to scare him or that nice family of his.
Very considerate, Chief.
Considerate? What's considerate about letting a killer settle down here in the first place?
Now, hold it, will you, Tom?
But look here, Mr.
If you want help in this thing from me or the police or anybody else...
Of course I do. Why else do you think I had Mr. Boomhauer send for
All
me?
right, then let us handle it our own way.
But don't you see...
Otherwise, we'll be glad to back out. Just let you take care of it all yourself.
But I...
Well...
All right, Mr. Dollar, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So anyhow, Mr. Johnny, I'm convinced that Casey Carey is all right. He's forgotten his threat.
And I tell you that he... No, Chief. I've got to have protection against him. Somebody to watch over me night and day.
Tom, suppose Carey hasn't forgotten his threat to kill you.
I'm sure he hasn't.
And suppose Chief Younger were to give you protection for a while, and the hope Carey might try to make a move.
For a while, did you say?
That's right.
He said he'd be in no hurry to get me.
I know
and
that.
And he's waited 9 years so far. He'll wait longer if he has to, but sooner or later he's... And what about my family?
Excuse me, Chief, but here's that report you asked.
Oh, okay, Billy, okay. I'll be through here in a minute.
Yes, sir.
Now, you're a very upset man, Mr. Tom.
Well, wouldn't you be?
And I see there's a pistol permit listed in your name. You have that gun on you, Mr. Tom?
It's at home in my bureau. What about it?
Now, don't you think it might be real sensible if you turn it in before you get excited and do something foolish?
No. No, I don't.
Why not, Tom?
Because if you won't help me, then maybe I'd better help myself.
I took the chief aside and promised I'd stay with Tom Patterson, if possible get his gun and turn it in. And Tom and I left. As we rounded the corner, we passed Carey's gas station.
No, Mr. Dollar. He's off duty this time of the evening.
You know where he lives?
Yes.
Where? Because that's where we're going.
What?
Well, now, you wanted a showdown with him. Okay, now's your chance.
But without my gun? You can't be serious.
While grabbing a sandwich and some coffee, that's item 3, $1.40, I managed to sell him on the idea. Then we drove on over to Carey's house on a lonely side street.
He must have seen me, Mr. Dollar, and he's probably waiting in there
Ask
in the dark.
me, there's evil in there, mister.
Yes? Oh, what did you say, ma'am? And who are you, please?
I'm one of the neighbors, mister, that's what. And when I heard that shot in there
You heard a
while
shot?
ago, well, then I kind of thought about it for a while, and then I called the police.
While we were sitting in that restaurant having... Come on, Tom, this door's open. There's got to be a light switch here on it. There it is.
Mr. Dollar.
Huh? This is Casey Carey?
Yes, sir. Only...
Yeah. Shot through the head. And it looks like about a 32. Tommy, isn't that the caliber of your gun?
Why, yes.
And where did you say it is?
At home, in the bureau.
Now, there's no use to lie about that.
Well, Chief Younger.
Sorry, Mr. Tom. I'm holding you for murder.
Gold is considered more precious than silver. And because it is, we find it hard to understand why silver takes precedence over gold in the military insignia of rank in the United States. At one time, except for the silver stars of generals worn on epaulets of gold, the color of an officer's insignia of rank depended on his branch of Army service. Infantry officers wore epaulets of silver with insignia of gold. All other officers wore the opposite. In 1851, all epaulets were gold with silver insignia. But majors and second lieutenants had no insignia at all, except for a difference in size of the epaulet fringe. Between the Civil War and the Spanish-American War, most epaulets were abolished, and majors were given gold leaves to indicate their rank. But the poor second lieutenant had to wait for his gold bar until, and believe this or not, 1917. Regardless of the date of establishment, all military insignia have been a source of pride for members of the armed forces of the United States of America.
And now, Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar and the Deadly Debt Matter.
That's right, Mr. Tom. I'm holding you for the murder of Mr. Casey Carey.
No. No, Chief, you're wrong.
Am I? Looks to me like this is his dead body laying here, and I'd guess this hole in his head was made by a .32 caliber bullet.
Chief Younger, look,
and Mr.
listen.
Tom, that's the same as this gun of yours. So, here you are, Mr. Dollar. Here's a murder weapon.
That's my gun. Where'd you get it?
Mr. Tom, I hate to say this, but I had a feeling your coming to see me was a bluff.
Bluff?
Yes, sir. To make me think you hadn't yet done any harm to Mr. Carey here.
Wrong, Chief.
Am I?
I had to practically drag Tom over here to see you.
Well, then, let's just say he was more willing than he let on.
That's not true.
And when some woman phoned about hearing a shot out here, and young Billy Barker came in...
Barker?
One of my new boys on the force. When he laid this gun on my desk and the number on it checked out against your permit, Mr. Tom...
Where'd you get this gun?
Right where you throwed it off to the side of the road over toward Midnight Pass.
What?
That's right. If young Barker hadn't stopped to fix a tire on his squad car and stepped on it, it could have laid there forever, nobody the wiser.
But I told you, I left it in my bureau at home.
That just doesn't make sense now, Mr. Tom, and you know it.
But it's true.
So where were you after you and Mr. Johnny left me at headquarters?
Well, I can answer that,
I'll tell you where,
Chief.
Mr. Tom. You came over here and killed Mr. Carey and took the gun and throwed it off in the bushes.
Wait, Chief Younger, listen.
Yes, sir?
Tom has been with me from the time we left you.
Who?
Yes.
Well, then all that means is you killed him before you came to see me.
No, Chief.
And when the doc digs a bullet out of Carey's body, and I take it along with your gun up to the police lab in Sarasota...
Mr. Dollar.
And if they match up together...
Tommy, it looks kind of bad for you, doesn't it?
No, please, listen.
You better come along with me, Mr. Tom.
Maybe Chief Younger was right. And when a report came back from ballistics that the bullet had come from Tom Patterson's gun, when Tom had no way of proving he'd left the gun at home, well, I still couldn't believe Tom had done it. Another thing, the neighbor woman had heard the shot only a little while before we got there. What's more, Carey's body had still been warm. But instead of putting up a defense for Tom, I decided to play a real wild hunch that just might turn up Carey's killer. Item 3 from a phone booth, 30 cents for a call to Don Boomhauer.
No, Johnny. The man Tom saw Carey murdered back in 51 was named Harker.
Not Barker?
Nope. Gerald Harker, with an H.
Well, and I guess my hunch about this new man in the department.
Hunch about what?
Oh, it's nothing, Don. Forget it. And thanks. So maybe I was wrong. So maybe instead of always acting on these crazy hunches, and yet... Item 4 was $1.10 for a call to Jacksonville to Mike Kirby in the city room of the Times-Press. And bless him, he came up with some mighty revealing information for me.
And then he worked for a while on the police force, Johnny.
Oh, they're in Jacksonville?
That's right. Looked to me as though the boy was trying to live down the family reputation by putting himself on the side of law and order.
Maybe.
And a month or two ago, he handed in his badge and moved to... Hey, what was that maybe you threw in? About his being on the side of law and order?
That's right.
But, Johnny, if he was a cop...
Here's another maybe.
What?
Maybe that boy still is.
What?
A cop. Thanks a lot, Mike. I went back to police headquarters where Chief Younger was half asleep at his desk. I told him I wanted to have a little talk with one of his men.
No, Mr. Johnny, but it's after midnight, and he doesn't come on duty until late in the morning. But okay, if you insist, I'll call him, get him out of bed, and have him come down here.
And then about half an hour later, they're in Chief Younger's office.
Something special, Chief, getting me out of bed this way?
Billy, I want you to meet Johnny Dollar. Mr. Johnny, this is Billy Barker.
Hi, Billy.
Mr. Dollar?
Only, why did you change your name from Harker when you came down here to Venice?
Huh? What's that, sir?
I'm afraid it was a dead giveaway.
I don't know what you mean, sir.
I'm sure I do.
That and the fact you didn't move down here until Casey Carey did.
Oh, you mean that man that was killed this afternoon?
That's right. The man who'd killed your own father back in 51.
Is that true, Billy?
How did you know, Mr. Dollar?
Casey Carey, the man you swore you'd someday get even with for killing your dad.
How did you know that?
I didn't. I was guessing.
Looks to me like you guessed right, Mr. Johnny.
Now look.
When you learned that Carey was getting out of jail, you joined the force up there, hoping that maybe you could find some excuse to kill him in line of duty.
You don't know
that.
But
before you could do it, he moved down here to Venice. So you followed him and joined the force down here.
You think that's the reason I came down here?
All you could do was bide your time. Until this afternoon, when you heard us talking in here and found out about Tommy Patterson recognizing Carey, being so wild with fear that he was willing to kill him.
Now you listen.
So all you had to do was get hold of Tommy's gun. I don't know how or when. That's beside the point.
Mr. Johnny, you sure of this?
I'm not sure of anything, Chief.
You bet you are.
But if Billy is willing to go over to the police lab in Sarasota, let them make a paraffin test of his shooting hand. Well, Billy.
All right, you two.
Oh, you don't kill. Chief, you want to let Tom Patterson out of that cell so he can go home to his family?
Yes, sir. Right away. And thank you, Mr. Johnny.
Expense account total, including our motel room, some fishing out in the Gulf with Chief Younger the next day, then the flight back to Hartford. Call it $200 even. Remarks? The fishing was great. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood and is written, produced, and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in our cast were Virginia Gregg, Russell Thorson, Barney Phillips, Sam Edwards, Bert Holland, and Stacey Harris. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is John Wald speaking.
Johnny Dollar has come to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
From Hollywood, it's time now for
Johnny Dollar.
Mr. Dollar. Well, this is Jet Bramler.
Oh, hiya, Constable.
Reckon I got the wrong number. I was calling the Shady Lane Cafe.
Now, you've got it. I'm sitting right here at the counter.
Yes, well, but where's Millie, Mr. Dollar?
She's busy crying at the moment. I'm waiting for her to get through and hoping she'll confess to murder.
Now, you hadn't ought to gone and made her cry that way. Millie is a fine girl.
That's the trouble with this whole case, according to you. Everybody in this township is fine people, all of them. Ellen Bates was a fine woman, too, and now she's dead. And one of these fine people killed her. I'm going to find out which one, Mr. Bramler, and I'm going to tag him for it. With your help or without it.
Tonight and every weekday night, Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. From Special Investigator Johnny Dollar, location Shady Lane, Vermont, to the Home Office, Star Mutual Insurance Company, Hartford, Connecticut. Assignment, the Shady Lane matter. Expense account continued. Item 7, $1.40, one pot roast special at the Shady Lane Cafe, while waitress Millie Wells dried her tears and repaired her face. I thought over what she'd said, what I'd taken for a confession, and tried to fit it in with the other facts in the case. What few facts there were. A young farm wife, a semi-invalid named Ellen Bates, had been shot to death while sitting at the front window of her house. The weapon was an old-fashioned squirrel rifle, a type of gun owned by half the people in the township. Ellen Bates had no known enemies. Her husband, beneficiary of a $10,000 insurance policy on his wife's life, had been accused by a spiteful neighbor of carrying on with pretty waitress Millie Wells.
It's a lie, Mr. Dollar. Anyone who says Ben and I were seeing each other or even thought of such a thing before his wife's death is a mean, vicious liar.
All right, take it easy now, take it easy. There's no point in getting yourself all worked up and starting to cry again.
Ben's a fine man, straight and decent. And it makes me boil to have some low, sneaking gossip try to smear his reputation without reason.
It reflects on your reputation a little, too, Millie.
I don't care about me. I told you what I've been through. I'm used to it.
Do you ever get used to something like that?
No, not really. A murder charge isn't an easy thing to forget. You dream about it nights. Prison, the courtroom, the trial, the things they said about you.
But you were acquitted, finally.
I was acquitted, and I was innocent. But just being tried for murder brands a person for life.
What were the details of the case?
First, let me tell you about Ben. You haven't met him yet, Mr. Dollar. You don't know him. And I know the line you're thinking along.
It's the way things point, Millie.
Then things point wrong, that's all.
Maybe. Go on.
Well, he's been coming in here for the last 6 months. Not often, just every once in a while, just to eat.
Does Ben know you stood trial on a murder charge?
He does now. He didn't before his wife was killed. We just made conversation, that's all.
And since her death?
There's been no carrying on, as some people choose to think. One day Ben said, Millie, when this mess is all settled, I'd like very much to see more of you.
That's all?
That's all. And that's enough. Because I love him.
About the trial, Millie.
It was 4 years ago, in Chicago. I was working for a family on the West Side as a nursemaid, governess. They were wonderful.
What happened?
The wife died suddenly, under strange circumstances. It could have been an accident, or it might have been poison. I thought you already knew about it. That's why I blurted it out that way.
Oh, I'd have found out anyway, sooner or later.
Yes, I know. It was in all the headlines. The same things that they'll be saying about me here.
What do you mean?
I was accused of murdering the wife because I was in love with the husband.
I left the Shady Lane Cafe, and the tortured girl whose secret, close hidden for 4 frightened years, was now the property of a stranger. It was late now, and the town square was dark and deserted. A stark white moon was climbing the eastern sky, and the soft summer night's breath stirred in the leafy tops of the maples, whispering other secrets. Secrets the villagers dared not stay abroad and listen to. A fantasy, sure, pure and simple. Maybe it was a bad slice of pot roast. Anyway, the dim light burning in the office of Constable Jed Bramler brought me back to harsh reality.
Come in, Mr. Dollar. Come in. Pull up the chair.
Okay, thanks.
That girl stopped crying yet?
Sniffling a little, maybe, but she's practically stopped. For the time being, at least.
Mean something by that?
You know what I mean by it.
I reckon you must have found out about her past, so to speak.
You knew about it?
Yeah, since the day she come to town. Stopped in to see me, told me all about it.
Well, you were keeping it pretty quiet, weren't you?
It was told in confidence, Mr. Dollar.
All right, but this is a murder case.
It don't have no bearing. Millie ain't involved.
Would you mind if I had a chance to decide that once in a while?
Didn't know you'd be interested.
Don't you realize that Millie Wells may be the reason for the killing?
Still beating a dead horse, eh?
I think that horse is coming to life, Mr. Bramler.
You do?
The way things stand right now, a prosecuting attorney could go into court with a pretty strong case. The charge, first-degree murder. Accused, your friend Ben Bates.
You ain't met Ben yet, Mr. Dollar.
No, I haven't met him, but the facts add up. It's an old story.
Yeah, it's a downright classic.
An invalid wife, a pretty girl, a rundown farm that doesn't look as though it's made a profit in years. A $10,000 life insurance policy dangling like a carrot.
Yeah, fact is, it's even worse a picture if you're a mind to look at it that way.
How?
That farm of Ben's ain't only run down, it's mortgaged to the hilt.
Oh?
Ben needed money for Ellen's operations. She'd had 3 in the last year and a half. He tried every way he knew how to, but the banks wouldn't touch it.
Well, in that case...
Martin Preeny, his next-door neighbor, come through and helped him out. $7,500.
Is the farm worth that much?
Nope. Wouldn't bring $4,500 if it was sold tomorrow. That's what I mean. Ben feels pretty obligated.
And the $10,000 from that policy on his wife would have taken the pressure off all the way around. Plus, leave him free to marry Millie Wells.
All right. I know it adds up that way. I've been studying over this thing for a month now, trying to figure out some other way of explaining it, hoping that somebody would show their hand. Yes, make a move of some kind.
And nothing's happened, huh?
No. Whoever done it is just sitting tight, waiting. Might be a good thing that you come along. Might jar things loose a little.
Yeah. Well, whether I'm right or wrong, one thing we've got to jar loose is that gun.
That's a fact, all right. Can't make much of a case against nobody without that gun.
You said nearly everybody in the township owned one of those old-fashioned squirrel rifles, the type Ellen was killed with.
That's right.
Well, what about her husband? Does Ben own one?
Nope. Nothing but a shotgun.
Yes, I saw it when we were out there this afternoon hanging over the mantel. But at the same time, I noticed something else.
What do you mean?
That shotgun was resting on a pair of hooks set into the bricks above the fireplace. But the hooks hadn't been put there for that particular gun. Now, they were too far apart.
What are you getting at, Mr. Dollar?
I think those hooks would fit a squirrel rifle just fine.
Ben ain't one to lie. He told me he didn't have a rifle. But that's something else I've been studying about.
What do you mean?
I kind of half remember seeing a squirrel gun hanging over that mantel in years gone by.
Expense account item 8, $3. Car expense for another trip out to the Bates farm. A late night trip this time, and the last one, I hoped. Constable Bramler had suggested that my being in the case might help stir things up. Good, I was all for it. And not just stir things up, but wind them up. Tonight, maybe, if we caught Ben Bates at home.
Lights on inside.
Yeah, he must be here someplace.
Oh, evening, Jed.
Ben, like you to meet Mr. Johnny Dollar.
Mr. Dollar?
Hi, Ben.
You fellas are out late.
Little, I reckon. Mind if we come inside, Ben?
Oh, sure. Sorry, Judd, I didn't think. Now, let's go on back through to the kitchen. That's about the only room I use since... Well, anymore, I mean. Set yourselves down there at the table. I'll get us some lemonade if there's any ice left.
Oh, a lemonade lift would suit me fine.
Don't go to no trouble for us, Ben.
No trouble at all. Got it already made. Just have to chip a little ice into it. I reckon you'll kind of have to bear with me. I'm not much used to having callers come around since Ellen.
It's all right, Ben.
There we are. You fellas got some business out this way tonight?
Fact is, Ben, we come out here to talk to you. Mr. Dollar is an insurance investigator. He's here to find out who killed Ellen.
I see. You got any ideas yet, Mr. Dollar?
I've kind of got an idea you might have done it, Ben.
I wouldn't have harmed a hair of Ellen's head.
I could be wrong.
Mr. Dollar has been checking around, Ben, talking to people here and there. Preenies, Millie Wells.
What's Millie got to do with it?
Nothing, maybe. Or she might be part of the motive.
I didn't even make her acquaintance hardly before the last week or two.
What about Mrs. Preeny? You've known her longer, haven't you?
Yes, she was a good friend of Ellen's. Why?
She thinks you killed your wife. She wrote an anonymous letter about it to the insurance company.
The woman's crazy. I knew she never liked me for some reason, but I sure wouldn't figure her to go that far.
Ben, whatever happened to that squirrel rifle you had around the house?
Why, the week before Ellen died, somebody...
Yes, Ben?
No, I didn't lie to you, Jed, not actually. When I told you I didn't have a rifle like that, I didn't. Not then. And you didn't ask me if I had one.
What happened to the rifle?
Well, it was stolen the week before Ellen was killed. I haven't seen it since.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's the truth, Mr. Dollar.
You didn't report it being stolen?
Ellen asked me not to. She figured she knew who took it, and she wanted to give them a chance to make good. You know how she was.
But after she'd been shot by that same kind of rifle, you still didn't report it.
Report afterward that the gun had been took before?
Who might have taken it, Ben?
I've tried to think. Wasn't nobody came here that week except Mrs. Preeny and Grody Hawkins.
Grody Hawkins?
That's the hired hand we met here this afternoon, Mr. Dollar.
Yeah, I know. The one who was a dead shot with a gun.
Yeah, no. Grody wouldn't kill nobody. He's a little touched, maybe, but he's good-hearted and gentle.
Is he another one of your pets, Constable? Don't you care whether the killer is identified?
Kind of a funny question to ask a murder victim's uncle.
Uncle? Mr. Bramler, was Ellen Bates your niece?
She was. I didn't think to mention it, Mr. Dollar. Just figured you knew, I guess. And anyhow, it don't have no bearing.
Now, here's our star to tell you about tomorrow's intriguing episode of this week's story.
Tomorrow, a slow net tightens and the fish turn frantic, and one of them, at least, is armed and dangerous, as deadly as a shark. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, is transcribed in Hollywood. Written by Les Crutchfield, it is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone. Be sure to join us tomorrow night, same time and station, for the next exciting episode of Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Roy Rowan speaking.